So I took my sexy black ass down to the movie theater to watch Backrooms. Was it worth the $10.75 it took to get into the movies to see this? Yes, it was. The first half, I was thinking, man, this movie alright, but I should have just waited for it to come out on HBO Max or something like that. But the end of the movie, I'm like, yeah, I'm so glad that I came to see this in theaters because it was a spectacle. Not even gonna lie to you. This movie was great. It was great. And I didn't know nothing about the Backrooms before I went to see it. I didn't know nothing. The only thing I knew was it was a YouTube video series. And there was a picture of the Backrooms. And yeah, it looked creepy, but I'm like, man, I'm not scared of this. I thought I can handle the back rooms. I thought I can just stroll in the back rooms like I was strolling through the ghetto of the hood. But as I was watching this, I realized this was worse than any ghetto, any hood, any trailer park. The back rooms, is actually so terrifying. So this is how we're gonna do it. I'm not gonna spoil y'all like bad milk. I'ma spoil y'all like cheese. Cheese is good. You have to spoil cheese to make it good. Now, I'ma spoil y'all to make y'all wanna watch the movie. Now, our main character, he named Clark. Now, this nigga here, he's kind of a dick. Now, let me explain why I'm so hard on the nigga. Pause. But he was talking to his therapist, and his therapist, her name is Mary. She's also important to the plot of this movie. And she also looks like a fine ass librarian. But she had him do an exercise where Mary pretends to be Clark's ex-wife. At first, it started out cool. She asked him, so why did you get home so late? He said, well, I was working late. And then she said, I can smell the alcohol on your breath. And then he was like, well, I had a few drinks because I had to pay for everything. I had to pay for you to go to school and you don't do shit. You want to have kids? Well, that takes fucking money. You're the reason I'm not an architect because you won't get up off your fat ass. And I'm like, damn, this nigga's an asshole. And he don't want to take responsibility for none of his issues. He said, my wife kicked me out of our house because she's a bitch. Like, you don't think it's because you was yelling at her like that? Bro, if you was yelling at the therapist like that, you just broke down like that in front of the therapist, there's no telling what you were saying to your wife. But this man, he's the manager or the owner of a furniture store. So he's the type of guy that makes the commercials like, y'all motherfuckers want some furniture? I like baby girls with the curvature. If you get the reference, you a goat. But he's the manager of the furniture store, and he treats his employees like shit. I would have been quit on this nigga. Not even gonna lie. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna spoil it, but let's say he got his employees in some big trouble. Because, yeah. But anyway, he's living in his store. He's sleeping on the beds he's supposed to. Nigga, you got your musty nuts on the bed that you supposed to sell. Man. But his power goes off, and that's how he discovers the back room. It's actually just a place in the wall where your hand can go through. So imagine you touching the wall and your hand just go through the wall. So he decides to take his whole body through the wall, and that's what we discover. The back rooms. Now the back rooms, terrifying. Not even gonna lie. Clark described it like this. It's like telling somebody to draw a dog when they've never seen a dog before. They'll get some of the details right because you explain to them how to draw it, but they never seen it before, so they're not fully gonna get it. It's like some weird alien created these rooms, and he's an architect. So he understands. That's probably why he's so curious and he decides to explore it like he's Dora, his dumb ass. But nigga, you're more like Boots. Why are you being a curious George in this situation? I know you're an architect, but you can arc these testicles because this is a stupid decision. You just went through a magical door and you decide to explore. You don't want to call the police, call the FBI, call some scientists. Nigga, you want to explore by yourself? And then he called up his employees. His employees, the girl's name is Kat. The dude's name, I don't know. He wasn't that important. Let's just say he's not in the movie for long. So he hires them to record for him so he can prove to his therapist that he not crazy because he told his therapist about it. So they was recording and basically they got lost in the back rooms. You couldn't pay me enough to go through a magical door, a wall where I can just magically float my body into and explore unfound territory. You know how I said this guy was more like Boots than Dora? All of them are. The white dude, the white lady, and the black dude. It don't matter if you black or white. This right here, this is called chimping out. Because why are you trying to be Curious George and explore this monstrosity? But the therapist, Mary, she gets worried, so she goes to the back room and she sees some shit. You know how I said the back rooms is all type, well, I didn't say it. The back rooms is all type of rooms. It's never ending. You can go through a door, it's another door. You can go through a door and you can see Christmas trees just all out. You can go through a door and you can see a bottomless pit. It's scary. But then there's also people and entities that's chasing you around. Now let me explain more about the back rooms. The back rooms is like, it's like AI. It copies what you've seen. So it's copying your memories of people. It copies it and it distorts it. So it'll give your wife like two faces, three titties, because it's off. This movie is so good and it's a mind fuck. It's very psychological. It is. It really is. And I'm not even gonna say that much more because that's what y'all need to know. A nigga, his therapist, a camera crew goes into the back room. The back room is terrifying. They getting chased by an entity that they don't know what it is. Man, this movie gets a smooth 8.4 out of 10. The only thing that brings it down is the people who went to see it. Because I had my phone out and this white bitch gonna tell me, turn your fucking phone off. I said, man, if you don't shut the fuck up, the phone is not making no type of noise. It's not, I had this phone on the lowest light. Or am I the dick? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know.
Shit,
but
one
thing I do know, I'm not stepping foot into a back room or anything that look like it. I don't know why Clark did it. Just because your name is Clark does not mean you're a super nigga. That's the moral of this story, in my opinion. But until next time, I'll see y'all later. Love you. Peace.